All right. All right. Had to get the chat popped out. See here, test, test, test. We are good. We are good. We are good. Let's, test the volumes real quick. All right. Okay, for the time being, I think I'll leave the volume down a little bit so I don't have to shout. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless wonder, the man Lincoln Clay. We're back for a live stream of Forza Motorsports. After I swore I'd never return to this game again. This game, I don't think there's ever been a game in the last year or two that left me more frustrated than Forza, and it was mostly due to the force feedback. When this game first launched, it was a buggy game, and it seemed like the PC was having more problems than the console version, and they eventually got it worked out, so the game runs absolutely gorgeous for me. But the biggest issue for me was the force feedback. I spoke about it so many times about the force feedback that once you turn the steering wheel past a certain point, that the force feedback would just drop right off a cliff, and the car would go into a massive understeer, depending on where you were at. You know, if you went past that tipping point before you get to the apex, the car would go into a massive oversteer, and if you get there a little bit late and you go past that tipping point, it would go into a massive understeer. So I got my steering wheel right here, and I would say that, like, this is your window. If I turned the steering wheel, if I kept the steering wheel within this window, the force feedback and the response was great. But if I turned the steering wheel too far this way past that point, or too far this way, past that point, like I said, the force feedback would just drop right off in the cliff. You know, you basically wouldn't feel any force feedback, and the car would go into a terrible understeer. And I don't mind the force feedback. What's the word that I'm looking for? I don't mind the force feedback going down, but I just didn't like the way it dropped off, because when it suddenly drops off like that, it would throw me off, and I'd lose control of the car. And I had tried so many different things, watched so many different videos and stuff like that, and I had finally had enough of it. So I walked away from Forza Motorsports, vowing never to return. And even though I said that, I really felt like I wasn't 100% done, because for one thing, I spent $70 on this game. I bought this game maybe about 2 weeks after it launched. So I was at least trying to get some of my value for my money. And then the other thing is that it's a really beautiful game. You know, it's a shame that this game isn't in VR. And you know, the comparisons between this and GT7 visually, I mean, from a console war standpoint, you know, the fanboys feel like their preferred racing game is the better looking game. You know, for me, visually, I will be honest in saying that the car models on GT7 look better. Like, now this right here, what you're looking at this Porsche, this is gorgeous. But the cars only seem to look like that in this showroom. When you actually get out on the track, sometimes the car can look, the paint job can look bland, and sometimes the car models look like shortcuts were taken, and sometimes it can look lazy. But at times the car models can look, you know, like what we're looking at right here. The car model can be absolutely gorgeous and look just as good as GT7, but for the most part, overall, the car models on GT7 look better, but the environment looks better on Forza. There's a way more detail in Forza. If you were to do like Spa side by side, for instance, in the Forza version, you would notice flags, light poles everywhere. And where that kind of stuff is missing on GT7, and then the night races and the wet races look absolutely gorgeous. You can see the reflections on the wet pavement on Forza. You can see the real reflections of the cars on the hood of your car, whereas you know, other sims, you know, the reflections are baked in. It's not, you know, it's not in real time. And then not only that, like the car you're driving won't reflect any other cars on this own surface. Whereas with Forza, yeah, you can see the other cars are reflecting off your hood, even in online races. So the reflections that you see, or if you call it that, ray tracing, is not baked in with this game. In you know, and as far as from a console war standpoint, I'm really surprised that the Xbox side didn't throw that. They didn't throw that at the PlayStation fanboys, because with the PlayStation Pro coming out, and they talking about the improvements that's been made to GT7, one of them being, you know, being able to have ray tracing. You know, the Xbox side can say that it's always been here on the Series X, and didn't have to wait for a mid-gen refresh in order to get the ray tracing. You know, I think with GT7 on the PS5, the ray tracing is only in photo mode. And I'd imagine part of that is to save resources, but on this game, yeah, the ray tracing is there. The real-time ray tracing, the reflections from live cars is gorgeous. So anyway, let me switch over to the actual screen. So coming back to the situation that made me walk away, you know, the force feedback. Yesterday, I finally decided, you know what, let me look it up and see what the issue is here. So I Googled it, and I found a Reddit forum, and there was a guy in there that had the same problem I did. He was complaining about the force feedback, and someone informed him that to mess around with a couple of settings, and I'll even show you those settings, which I would have never thought. So going in here to the advanced input rather, way down here, you got the mechanical trail scale and the pneumatic trail scale, and that's where the issue was. And in that Reddit forum, someone suggested that you turn up the mechanical trail and turn down the pneumatic trail. So I just kept tweaking it, turn one up, turn the other one down, and pretty much got that uniform steering now. I don't really have that situation anymore where I turn the wheel past a certain point and it just drops off. Now the force feedback is consistent all the way, all the way through. I can still feel that tipping point just a little, but now it's good enough that I can deal with it. So So 19. And put that at 20. Take that up to 80. And then I turned up my force feedback from within the wheelbase. Save that. And I did a few single player races. I will say that the AI is still brain dead. The AI is still the worst that I've ever seen in any sim racing game, because the AI, the cars will ram you and they will brake check you for no reason. So the AI is still horrible. But I did go into the multiplayer, and I feel the multiplayer is one area where Forza has a huge advantage over GT7. They've got a lot of races to choose from. And not only that, I think Forza actually has a little bit better of a penalty system. And to my surprise, I went into a couple of online races yesterday, and they weren't really racing dirty like I thought. Yeah, there was people making mistakes and hitting other cars and going off the track, and but I didn't see anything blatant. I didn't see anything that I could clearly look at and see that it was dirty. Now, this is all the multiplayer. Now, this is your introductory series, the qualifying series. So this is like the first series you'll be greeted with when you first jump into Forza for the first time. And then I think, as you get a couple of more races in, I think you'll be able to unlock some other events. And then you go here to featured, and then they got a lot of multiplayer races where it's something for everybody. So here we are right here. This is 60s Formula. This is mid-engine. And this is at Sebring. And what is this? This is car restrictions is Saleen, the 2018 Saleen S1. So I'd imagine everybody will be using this car. Or when you go to the spec events, that's probably where I'll find what I'm looking for, because there'll usually be a GT3 or a GTE race there. And so what time do we got? 9 o'clock? 9:05. This race starts at 9 o'clock. So this is at Watkins Glen, but it's almost like you're going to be using the 1979 BMW M1 Pro car, which I'm not really interested in that. Let me see here. You got touring cars, Forza touring cars. Those are all right. I mean, I think I used like the Honda Civic the first time I played it, and it was actually okay. Endurance series, GTP, GTX sports cars. So I'm not interested in production cars. I only want to do race cars, pure race cars. And then let me see here. It looks like this is a multi-class event. This is a B-class race at Virginia. Yas Marina. This is an R-class race. This is a E-Class race. So, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different multiplayer races that you can join. So they definitely got GT7 beat on the multiplayer races. So I think I'm going to go ahead and jump into this GT3. This is at Mugello. I do know this track. All right, let's see how
Rodney Wheeler said, "Yo."
Rodney Wheeler, how you doing? Oh, you know what? You know what? I got to back out of this because I need to see how many laps this is. Because if this is kind of an endurance race, I don't want to go on soft tires and they wear out. So let me come back to the event info so I can find out just how many laps this race is. Okay, this is a 30-minute race. So the way the tires wear out, I'm probably going to be required to make at least one pit stop.
Car Enthusiasts John said, "The 911 is good."
Yeah, even back when I was having problems with the force feedback, the 911 was still a good car. The big problem with the 911 is that back end was like super unstable. If you got on the throttle too much, that back end would snap loose.
Rodney Wheeler said, "Well, hope all is well with you. Ironic, Forza got me into sim racing, then sim racing got me into VR." Car Enthusiasts John said, "Do hards and then mediums."
That strategy right there, I might not have anything to lose by going with that because the softs are probably going to wear out too fast. I am going to go with the softs so I can get a few practice laps in and then qualify with the softs, and then I'll either come back to the mediums or the hards for the race. All right, so I'm going to turn the game volume up a little bit. If it's too loud, let me know. Because I at least want to hear a little bit of car audio. So let's see how this feels. I mean, I probably had the most fun playing Forza yesterday than I did, as far as online races goes. I probably had the most fun yesterday that I've had the whole time that I've had this game because I was frustrated for so long with the force feedback.
Car Enthusiasts John said, "I would qualify with hards to get used of driving those tires."
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm going to qualify with the softs. Well, I'm going to do a couple of laps with the softs just so I can get a feel for the track, and then I'll come back for the hards or the mediums. So I got to use the bonnet view, unfortunately, because I'm not in VR. I wish this game had VR. That's really a shame. That's kind of an L right there that the game doesn't have VR. There's no doubt in my mind, if this game had VR, I would play it more than GT7. Yeah. Ooh. That feels good. But man, I might have turned the force feedback up too much. I'll probably have to turn it down a little bit. But at least it's all uniform. Oh! Woo! Woo! Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Oops. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn the force feedback down a little bit. But it felt good though. Let's try that. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I could stand to turn it down a little bit more. I think I'm probably going to have to turn the force feedback down a couple of more clicks because it feels good now, but boy, it's stiff. I got to fight with it a little bit.
Car enthusiasts John said, do your brake to 45 130, you will like it.
All right, 1 second. Ooh. Ooh. I am not liking the way that back end is swinging around on that Porsche, though. How much time we got? 11 minutes. I'm gonna try a different car. Cancel. Quit. Practice. Let me see if it'll let me change cars right here on the spot. Instead of having to back all the way out. Damn. Let's give this NSX a try. Yeah, that Porsche is it's a fine line with that Porsche. Acceleration.
Car enthusiasts John said, NSX 46 140 for Brack. Car enthusiasts John said. Brakes.
Yeah, I'm looking for that. Let's see here. Come back up to the top. Invert acceleration inside. Handbrake axis dead zone. Handbrake by force feedback. Mechanical trail. Roll. E-pass filters. Huh. The only thing I'm seeing that says brake is handbrakes, but I've got load cell pedals anyway.
Car enthusiasts John said. It's in tuning.
Audio display in.
Car enthusiasts John said. Go to car.
Front. Oh, you talking about the brake pressure at 140? All right, let's see what we got.
Car enthusiasts John said. 46 140. Car enthusiasts John said.
Oh, you talking about the brake
not
balance?
50 140.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah, it was set to 50 by default. Ooh. Oh, that back end is rotating a little too much.
Brake starts in 5 minutes.
Car enthusiasts John said. Tires to 29.29.
Go ahead, dude. Woof! Yeah, that back end wants to come loose. Yeah, you can't violently jerk the steering wheel with this car. You gotta be smooth. Ooh, and it still wanted to come loose. Yeah, I might have to go back and change that brake bias a little bit and ease off of it because I don't like the way that back end wants to swing around when you try to trail brake. This is the way I would prefer to drive it. Ooh!
Car enthusiasts John said. Dip to 65.10.
I'm still doing a lap or two to figure it out. Well, at this point, the race is getting ready to start anyway, so... I am going to go raise that brake bias back a little bit and move it a little bit back towards the middle. Because that car, that back end, absolutely... Oops, not that. We didn't want that. We'll leave it there. All right, now I didn't get a chance to qualify, so I guess we'll just be starting from the back. They're gonna blow me out anyway because you know, now that I got the force feedback issues resolved, now it's about getting back to learning the physics. So yeah, that the Porsche clearly handled better than this NSX, but since
MR617 Bean said, since I started racing in VR, it's hard race on a flat screen.
I agree 100%. I mean, VR is pretty much the only way I can race. But I mean, as I was saying at the beginning of the stream, a couple of things is fuel and tire. Hold
Car
on.
enthusiasts John said, you have too much gas.
All right, let's leave it there because I'm gonna get my ass kicked anyway. So basically, we'll just use this race just to get my feet wet. Mr. Bean, yeah, I like VR is pretty much the only way I could race. But as I was saying at the beginning of this stream, I paid $70 for the game. It is a beautiful game. Especially the night races are absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, that's the one shame of this game is that it's not in VR. Ho 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 ho. It's just I'm still trying to figure the physics out. I don't want to do anything stupid. Oh. Ooh! That's one of the other bad things about this game is sometimes I don't see the brake markers until it's too late. Oh, come on, man. Seriously? Just when I was about to give these dudes credit for not racing dirty. Why? What was the point of that? Ooh! Started getting greedy. I'm starting to find some brake markers around here. I'm starting to find my own brake markers instead of looking for the posted brake markers. Oh, damn. Yeah, yeah, I should have. Nah, see, I should have started this race on hards. Ooh, ooh. Started getting greedy again. Ooh, caught that runoff and nearly lost it again. Ooh. That left tire's starting to go. I guess it's time to go ahead and go into the pits. Go ahead and go with some hards. They want me to go with mediums? All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Car enthusiasts John said, "What car do you drive on a daily?"
This is my first time coming back to this game in months because I was having a problem with the force feedback, and it made me so mad that I walked away from this game. So truth be told, I really don't have a ton of experience in this game. Le Mans Ultimate is my favorite game, and I used the Corvette on that game. So basically, I gotta get, I gotta get some more time up, Oh shit! I gotta get some more time under my belt before I can, decide on a car that. But I can say this as far as like the GTE class on this game. I like the Ford GT. And then, as far as the GT3 class in this game, I like that Porsche, but that back end is just unstable. It wants to come loose.
Car enthusiasts John said, "Real life car to work and home."
1 second here. Oh, my real life cars? I've got some old cars, but at least they're paid for. I've got a 2007 Toyota Camry, which is, more or less my son's car as soon as he gets his license. I've got a 2006 Acura RL, and I've got a 2008 Lexus LS460.
Car enthusiasts John said, "You have great cars. I have a 2010 Acura TSX and I just got a BMW 235 I drive on."
Nice. But out of all three of my cars, the Acura is the most fun to drive. Cause I think it's perfect combination of sport, luxury, handling.
Car enthusiasts John said. X drive.
Nice.
Car enthusiasts John said. I wanted a Lexus LS 500, can't afford that.
Yeah, I hear you. That's a pretty penny. I mean, even the old ass 460 that I got, there's no way I could have afforded that thing brand new.
Car Enthusiasts John said, "You're doing good."
I'll get better. Thank you. I can tell you right out the gate that if I was in VR, I'd be doing much better. Ooh,
Car Enthusiasts John said, "When you get your gears set up you will like it."
oh, I believe it. But I bounce around to so many different sims that I may not have time to like really dedicate myself to this game, because I also stream GT7, Le Mans Ultimate. Once in a while I'll stream F124. Once in a while I'll stream Automobile Lista 2. And then there's definitely a transition when you go from racing in VR to racing flat screen.
Car enthusiasts John said, "Okay, I got to go. 6:30 is right around the corner. Have a great night."
Same to you. Thank you. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Hope to see you again. Ah. Ah. Oh, I ain't gonna make it anyway. Well, all things considered, my laps weren't as bad as I thought they would be, and I didn't finish as bad as I thought I would. So I'll take the 12th. That was all right. I mean, aside from that one jerk that like parked his car in the middle of the track right in front of me, that wasn't bad. Old Spa, yeah. That's 12 laps. Yeah, let's do that one. I'm taking the car enthusiast John. I'm taking it. He must live on the West Coast because he said 6:30 was right around the corner. So if he meant 6:30 p.m., then ah. Trying to decide whether to go with the Audi or the McLaren. Because I drive the McLaren on ACC. And the Audi is just one of those cars where, maybe I'll mess with it, maybe I won't. Look at that hood. That's just beautiful. Yeah, I see the force feedback and the resistance feels different with every car. So that must have been another one of my problems too. Nobody want to join this race? There's only 3 of us? Laps. We'll deal with that. Excuse me. It's hard to see that corner in the sunlight. Oh, they dropped out of the race. I'm the only one here. Those dudes dropped out of the race. I'm the only one here. They robbed me of my victory. All right, let's go find a different race then. They robbed me of my victory. That would have been my first win. Oh, no, I don't want to do that one. No, no, no. Uh, damn, any track except that damn Nordschleife. So this race, everybody's going to be driving. Let's see here. So I think everybody's going to be driving a Honda Civic in this race.
If you see a cloud of dust up during the race or a car that's gone off, air could deteriorate the traction and sand will run on the track. Till race start.
Boy, this is taking a minute. Well, I will say that all in all, the two races that I did, you know, there was only one jerk in there. And that actually happened during practice when the guy that was, yeah, I think that might have been during practice when that guy stopped his car in the middle of the track and caused me to run into the back of him. But other than that, it wasn't really any dirty racing. And then the other thing that I do but I don't like about the game is when you become a back marker, you turn into a ghost. So you don't have to worry about the slower cars trying to block you or trying to run you off the road or anything like that because they turn into a ghost. If this was a game like Le Mans Ultimate or even Automobilista 2 where they don't race dirty, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want the ghosting. Yeah, I think I'm stuck. So I think that's a good time to go ahead and end it right there because I got to jump into Le Mans Ultimate and get some practice in because I plan on coming back. I plan to come back either tomorrow or Friday for Le Mans Ultimate. The two races that I'm interested in, they have a Ferrari, a fixed GTE Ferrari race at Monza, and they have a multi-class race at Imola. So I'm interested in those two races. Now, the Ferrari race, I can pretty much do that anytime because there's always people in the beginners races. But like the intermediate and the advanced races, you kind of have to catch them on the weekend because that's when most of the big name drivers and stuff like that show up for the events. So for the multi-car race at Imola, I would probably have to do that one Saturday morning when I wake up. But I think the GTE Ferrari at Monza, I can easily do that tomorrow or Friday. So looks like it's stuck, and I'm gonna have to close the game anyway. So I'll go ahead and close shop. Definitely want to thank you all for tuning in. I really, 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 really appreciate it. So, like I said, I plan to be back tomorrow or Friday for Le Mans Ultimate, and then back again Saturday morning if all goes well. So that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. All in all, not a bad night of Forza. Actually had fun, believe it or not. So, where does Forza fall as far as my lineup goes? LMU is first. LMU always comes first. Still one GT7 stream during the week. Once Automobile Lista 2 gets the 1.6 update and they implement Le Mans Ultimate, not Le Mans Ultimate, Low Fuel Motorsports, that will probably get one stream a week. And so where does that leave Forza? I don't know. I guess I'll try to work it in when I can, being that I had fun and the drivers here seem to be a lot less dirty than GT7, so I'll find a way to work it in. So that being said, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces.